Hi, guitar mates. I hope you are doing very well. Some time ago, I asked you all to vote on which Thin Lizzy track you would like me to cover next. Now, there were some great suggestions, but two songs really got the lion's share of the vote. At number two, Still in Love with You. Ever so slightly ahead at number one was this track. Chinatown is the title track for what was the 10th studio album by Thin Lizzy and was released back in 1980. The album also introduced us to guitarist Snowy White, who would replace Gary Moore and would become a permanent member of the band for the next 2 years. The album reviews, they weren't great, and a lot of criticism was aimed at both Phil and Scott due to their indulgences for certain products. However, this track did come to their rescue, charting in the UK at number 7. Now, it would be interesting to hear your comments on the album, as quite clearly the song is very popular. In this lesson, I will be covering the main parts of the song. The solos will be covered in a future lesson. I also have created a backing track figure using Moises, and the link for that track and Moises is down below. So, grab your guitar, tune up, and in the words of Phil Lynott, are you ready to rock? So what we're going to do is work through that intro section. I'm going to break it down into all the different parts there. We're going to start off with that opening lick, which you are going to be playing 12 times. Now also, so you can hear the guitar better, what I've done, I've just reduced some of the overdrive that I was using through the playthrough. But this is this opening lick that you are going to play quite heavily through this song. It goes like this. Okay, all I'm doing now, I'm just playing two open E strings. I do a pick on the A string, hammer onto the 2, and then do an open D. That's your first part. And then I play D string, and then I do the A to the hammer on again, and then I finish off on D2. You are going to be playing that a lot. In fact, the opening section, you are going to be playing that 12 times. Both guitars are playing on that, both are playing exactly the same lick. 12 times you're going to be playing that. On the 9th bar, that's when the drums come in, and they're playing these triplets on the snare, so you got triplety, triplety on the snare, keeping you company through that part. So now we are at that great little ascending run that's being played, which is played over E minor pentatonic second position, which is just... And there it is, the screen for you. But we are doing this as a kind of step down movement over triplets. So everything that we're going to do, I'm going to show you in groups of 3. So the first one that we're playing is the 5 on the B string, pulling off to the 3, and then playing the 4 on the G. Now we're going to go back to the 3 on that B string. We are going to play the 4, and we've got to get our first finger back quickly to the 2 on the G. Then I can do a pull off. That's that first one. The next triplet, 4, pull off to the 2 on the G. Going to, and with my little finger to the 5 on the D string, so we get that. We then go back to G2, and then do the 5, pull off to the 2 on the D. And possibly you're starting to see the pattern here that we're playing. We then go back to the 5, pull off to the 2 on the D, to the 5 on the A. Back to the 2 on the D, and we're going to do a 2, do a 5, pull off to the 2 on the A. Then we've got a 5, pull off to the 2, going to the 5 on the G. And our last one, we go back to the 2 on the A. We do a 5 on the E to the 2, sorry, to the 3 on the low E string. We put that together. Take your time with that one. And you know, I'm always saying this, but just work on the fingers, getting that position. Building up your accuracy until you're kind of moving with that quite freely. Because the next stage, the riff isn't hard, but it's getting to it. Because we've got to get from this position here to this, right up on the 15th fret of your high E string. So you've got to get really comfortable with that, because towards the end of the lick, what I have to do is turn my attention here. I've got to turn my eyes to here on the 15th fret to play that lick. But let's have a look at the lick anyway. It's just a minor pentatonic lick. We've just got this. So all I'm doing now, and again it's got triplets in it, I'm doing a 15 pull off to the 12 on the high E, to the 4, to the 15, can't get that out, to the 15 on the B. Then we go back to the 12 on the high E, and we're doing a 15 pull off to the 12 on the B. We go back to 15B, and then we pick 15 and do a full tone bend with vibrato. That's your first lick. Next lick, we are on the B string doing a 15 pull off to the 12, to the 14, and I use my second finger for that one. 14 on the G, that's your first triplet. Then we do the 12 on the B, and I use my third finger here, 14 to the 12 pull off. That's your second triplet. Now we're going to pick up 14 on the A. It's a bit of a jump. Back to the 12 on the G. And finish it off with an E power chord. So see, that isn't too bad to play. It's just a shift. That's where the fun starts, and you not get access to the outtakes of where I was missing the notes, not getting the 15, getting the 14, or just totally missing the strings altogether. But it is fun trying to get up to that 15th fret immediately from here. Now, the next part, we've hit that E chord, and we're going to count that up for 2 bars. And then we've got this ascending riff, which is all over quarter triplets. So we get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And the lick goes like this. So we are playing the 2 on the D string. That's, and then we do 0, 2, 3 on the low E string. Open A to the 2. That's your first bar. Then we've got open A string going to the 2 and the 3. Back to the 2, 3. To the open D. That's your second bar. We put that all together. And that part there then takes us into the verse section, which is going back to we've got that lick straight out of the back of them quarter triplets. So that is the entire intro section to the song. It's really busy, so it is. It's a great intro. There's no doubt about that. Take your time, just build up them sections. I'm going to be including links for the tablature, so you'll have all that information. Of course, you've got the on-screen tablature there as well that you can keep running through just to make sure it's right. But let's move on and let's go into the verses. We can take a little bit of a breather through this section. Well, quickly, I'll just run through the entire verse. So you know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm describing what we're doing here. So it goes like this. That is the verse all the way through. What we're doing, that normal lick that we're playing, which is that lick there, you're going to play that 4 times to start with. Then we have this for 2 bars. Now all I'm doing there, I'm playing the 2, instead of doing the open E string, I'm playing the B twice. The rest of the lick is identical. So it's 2-2 on the A string, and then I've got this little, I'm playing the O2 hammer on, up to the D, and then back to the D, and then O2 on the A. So yeah, you're going to do that twice. Then we go back to our normal riff 2 more times. Now we've got another little change up here. We're going to take the normal riff, but we're going to move everything down a string. So we're playing it across the A, D, and G string, but it's the exact same thing that we're playing. We're doing 2 open A's this time, and then doing an open D hammer onto the 2, open G. So then we got open G, open D hammer onto the 2, to the G2. So the entire part of that. Do that twice. And then we go back to our normal riff. 2 more times. I said it was a little bit more restful. That is how you play all of the verses. That is the main guitar that has been played through there. The second guitar does some other parts. Again, I'm going to be covering that in a more in-depth lesson. But that is what you are predominantly hearing through the verses. So let's get into the chorus section now. So it goes like this. Okay, what we're doing there, we are actually playing a B minor to an A to a C. That's the chords that we're playing, but we are arpeggiating it. And it's not really a hard and fast rule on this, but we're taking that B minor chord, and I'm just playing. So I'm doing 4. So that B minor, just in case you're not familiar with that, bar across the 2nd fret from the A string down, and then you're going to play 3rd finger plays D4, little finger plays G4, and your 2nd finger is playing across the B3. Like that. So I'm taking the A and the D string to the G and playing that. Then I'm coming back down. So I'm doing the 4 to an A5. Hold that, and then I'm playing the 2 on the D and G to a C5 chord, and I'm just playing that 3 on the end, and that's holding down my little finger the 5s on D, G, and B. Then I'm going to be playing the 2 5s D and G, and that finishes that sequence. So nice and slow. Then we go 2 more bars. Then back into 2 more bars. Each chorus, not too bad at all. So there is another guitar doing something, still using the same chords, but plays it just slightly in a different place. But it's still that you're playing through. B minor, A, C to an E chord. If you think that when you're arpeggiating it, you're going to get that chorus right each time. Now, I'm sure you are enjoying the lesson so far, so why not take the opportunity now to really help this channel grow? Click on that subscribe button, click on that bell. That really helps this channel grow and allows me to continue and improving all of the lessons that I am now posting on the channel. Now, let's get back into the lesson. Now from there we go back and we do another verse, go all the way through another chorus, and then we have this little triplet and quarter note section, which is very similar to what we played right at the beginning. In fact, it's even easier. We're just going to play this. And that final chord is the start of the bridge section. All we're doing there, we're playing 2 on the D, and then O 2 3 on the low E string, and then to the O 2, which was the first part of that opening section we did in the intro. And all we do, we repeat that again. So and we go into a G5 power chord. And that is taking us now into the bridge section. The bridge isn't too hard to play. We've already started, in fact, when we came out of that final section, when we hit that G chord. And we got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And then we've got a G, F sharp 5 to a B. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And from there we do a G, F sharp again to an E. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And then we got an E to an F sharp again to the G. 2, 3, 4, G, F sharp. Back to the B. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now we've got a B to a C to a D. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. We do a D and then to 2 E's. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now we've got our run back down to our G to an F sharp to the B. 2, 3, 4. Now this one is where it changes. We got that 2, 3, 4. We do a C, 1, 2 to a D. Then we are back into our that. We put that descending lick that we did right at the beginning. That comes on the back end of that bridge. Exact same notes, second guitar playing the exact same thing in a different position. That takes us out of the bridge section and it takes us into the guitar solo section. So what we're going to do now is look at the parts for guitar solo number 1. The solo itself was played by Snowy White and Scott Gorham is just playing the rhythm guitar behind it. For this lesson, I am just going to show you the rhythm parts. I'm going to look at the guitar solo in more depth on a future lesson. So you are coming out of that run, out of that you hit an E minor chord, you let that ring out. Now that's going to be holding for 3 bars. Then you play one, just play the first part of that lick, and you let that open D string ring out. Now you're going to let that ring out for the remainder of that bar, and then 3 more counts of 4/4 times. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Then you've got a bar of 2, 4, 1, 2, followed by, and again they repeat 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Same thing. So you're going to be playing that where you've got 3 bars of 4/4 time with a bar of 2/4 time. You are going to be playing that a total of 3 times. Then it starts to change up a little bit. We go back and we play that riff, but we only hold it for a count of 4 followed by 2. Then we are into a series of power chords. So the final one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now we have got a descending power chord run, which goes. So power chords that we're using there, we do a C5 to a B5, back to a C5 to a D5, and then the riff. We got a hold it for another bar of 4, and we play that same line. Like that. And we are going to be playing that 4 times. So we've got that one. So, that's it. We do that 3 times. And from there, we go back to the final lick for the intro, but we don't finish it with a power chord. So we get this. Like that. So the lick you played right at the beginning, you play that, but don't go back to the power chord. What we do is we go into another verse, play through the verse, play through an entire chorus, then we finish up that section with that quarter triplet run, exactly the same as we did in the intro. So it goes like this. Like that, which was just that open 2 on the D, open 2, 3 on the low E string, and then O2 on the A string, and then on the A string again, O2, 3, back to the 2, then the 3 again, to the open D, like that. And then we are into solo number 2. Now for solo number 2, this is played by Scott Gorham, and Snowy White does the rhythm behind that. So let's just look at exactly what Snowy is doing through that part. Well, Snowy is playing the 3rd version of the riff, which is the one that starts on the A string. So we get this. We get that riff there. And he's going to play that 4 times. Now, talking of the solo, Scott Gorham, when he's playing his solo, he is still playing in an E minor pentatonic. However, because you've got this note ringing out, it's predominantly giving you an A tonality. The solo takes on a modal feel, which is, for you theory buffs out there, if he's playing an E minor pentatonic or he's playing E minor over that A, he's actually now playing in a, what would be seen as an E mixolydian. That's why you get this little tonal feel when you hear that first part of the solo. As soon as he goes back for the next section, which is going back to your original riff, which he's going to do 4 times, that is going back to normal E minor pentatonic. So he's got 4 of them, and then he goes back and repeats the A 4 times. Again, still he's playing over the top on an E minor pentatonic scale. So that is your first section of the solo. Then we go into power chord run, which we've already done, followed by 2 bars of the normal riff. So we get this. We get that. And he's going to play that line, power chord section for 2 bars, and then 2 bars of the normal riff. He's actually going to play that 5 times through that solo. Then we have got an extended power chord run, which goes like this. So all I'm doing now, I'm doing a C5 to a B5, A5, back to a B5, and we're going to repeat that whole section 3 times. So beat, repeat, like that. That takes us to the conclusion of that solo section, because what happens now is the guitars go back to that original minor pentatonic rundown, which was that. So we play through that run. The other guitar, as per usual, is playing a kind of an octave feel on that, and then we finish it off with an E5 power chord. And that takes us to the end of the song. All of the rhythm guitar parts have been covered in this lesson. As I've mentioned, don't worry about the solos. I will be looking at the solos in a future lesson. Because of the depth of the solo work there, really wouldn't fit in the lesson today. So I will be covering that on all of them extra parts that I'm talking about for the other guitar in the more in-depth lesson on my premium channel, which again, as I've said, if you haven't checked it out before, check the link and have a look at it. All them lessons on there, I've got a lot more coverage on the songs than what you can normally do nowadays and get away with it on YouTube. So, if you did want a solo over the top of these things, you just riff around on the E minor pentatonic scale and it's going to sound fine. So it will. I will be providing a backing track link for this. So all of the parts you can practice, which will be minus the guitar sections for you. And again, that link will be down below. But I do hope you've enjoyed learning this song as much as I did. I'd always just focused on that opening riff, but there is just so much more fun to be had in this song, and I'm sure you will agree. Anyway, I am going to let you go for now. Until the next time, this is Jeff Sinker, wishing you well, and I'll speak to you again real soon. But until then, goodbye.